Hey, what's up? This is Sane the Legend, and I'm doing another tutorial on Trials. And ignore all of this, okay? It's not an importance. This is my overly programmed FPE. Okay, it's an FPS as well, but it's mostly an FPE because I don't like the whole the gun thing. Okay, so we're gonna build an elevator. Okay. So pretty much what's going to happen here is we're going to, let's build a decent lift, okay? Since I love making Metroid Prime maps, we'll build a decent lift, okay? So the lift is going to be this pad right here. We're going to say the end part of the lift is going to be up here, which is the second level. Same thing when I'm building 3D levels. It's the same thing. Okay, and that's the maximum momentum right there. So let's select one of these, because we're gonna need this. Get familiar with the objects. Get familiar with the objects. I think there's about 1,000 objects in the Trials Fusion Editor. There's going to be about 2,000 objects. No, 8,000 objects in the Trials Rising Editor, which is a whole bunch of a lot. Okay. We're going to get some gears. I'm gonna copy the gears. Okay. Probably going to use this. Put it in between the gears so it doesn't look bad. You know what I'm saying? Very echo. It's not even big enough. Find the center. Oh, and there we go. Maybe even use one of these. I don't know. Play around with it, make it a good design. This is a rough thing right here. We're gonna also use this pole again to emit light. Okay. Oh, what are we gonna do? We're probably gonna use a fence piece. Kind of what Promoter Gaboga did. And then get a light source. I love designing, so my strong points, you obviously noticed, is my decoration on my skill games. Because I thought about it, people make amazing Trials tracks. Why don't you just make the same, take their level design and just make a skill game, you know? Because you get to appreciate it more. Because when you're doing a Trials track, you're too focused on the driving line. That should be fine. Now we want to glue everything together except the cogs, of course. Okay, we're just gonna say glue. There we go. Now we can also move the glue group back, so it's not in the way. Put it right in the center, right back here. We're also going to need a... wow. What's going on? Some input lag on my side. You guys didn't see any of them, hopefully. So the lift obviously needs a mechanism, right? It's not gonna work, right? So this is an example, so we're just gonna make them far apart. Okay, and then we're probably going to also use one up here as well. Maybe you want to use a little one, I guess. That looks really good. Now what we need to do is we need to say, make this a glue object, and make this. We don't want to make those glue objects. We don't know if they're the same distances, and we don't even know if these are the same distances. Don't even make them glue objects. Just leave them the way they are. Okay, but what you want to do. Oh, now this is the tricky part. You would want to get dummy objects. Well, not really dummy objects. What we want to do is something that's easy to edit. Come on, can I select this? Thank you. Please and thank you. Okay, make sure those are like hidden, but don't hide them yet. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have all the code over here. And we're gonna make sure there's a platform here. Because in my custom maps, I usually, the ground is death. So yeah. Or it's like water or something, or lava. Okay, so interval trigger. OP. If I could find it, please. Alright. Now this is gonna get complicated. Sorry. This also could work for trials, actually, if you want to make a double-way map. Local. Okay. So you want 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You want that one because these are joints, by the way. We're gonna mark them as joints. This object, and then hope we're not confused. Well, we don't know because we have to share the impulse. And we kind of made a mistake here. But it's okay, we got it. So ignore this. It's bad. Be a constant interval. And we don't want it to do that, so we're gonna make this go out more. It go in more. Go in more. There we go. It's better. We're actually gonna glue this because it doesn't make any sense. We're gonna use the center mass. This piece. And then we're just gonna glue this. Nope. This. Okay. So that should work. Right? We're also gonna grab another object position event. We're gonna grab a linear data source. And it's gonna be the same amount each way. So we're gonna do yaw, share the interval as one chain, select both wheels, this for and this. Hopefully they're the same. We could see. They're the opposite. Oh, well, that's not good. So we gotta make two. That's the differences. What's going on here? Okay. Okay, so we want this to be negative 365 degree, no, 360 degree rotation. And this is positive 360 degree rotation. We want it to be looping, and this one is looping as well. We want this to be faster. It doesn't look that bad. No. Okay. Okay, so this one right here. We need to say... We don't need to do that. What am I doing? Unselect this and select this, but then it won't make sense. What is going on? I'm very confused right now. Looks like we swapped them. So this one looks like it has to be positive. And this one right here. Negative. Oh, no, this one is negative. The reason why we can't share the value is because the speed is different. You see what I'm saying now? So now it spins on both sides like it should. Okay. So the animation for the spinningness is done. Now what we need to do is we need to create another animation for the central lift. And now we need to do is grab this, select this, and select this, and then go glue up. Hide that, and hide that. And now we need to make this not position turn off. It's probably gonna be Y. I'm not sure though. And then we gotta share the impulse. It's not gonna work. Okay, so I don't know what the hell settings are here. Turn off. Okay, so we're good. And now we're gonna see what the highest is. $21. So it's a little bit higher. Now if it goes beyond a certain part, you could use a variable data source animation. You see? But since it's a little bit higher, you can just keep testing it until it's the same level. It's roughly the same level now. Down here it's the same level as well. Now you don't want it too high because you're gonna go through the damn floor. So you want it at least 10 seconds should be the best way for an elevator. Right? Oh yeah. More than enough, dude. More than enough. Okay, make sure this is on a loop. Okay, and invert second half. This is exactly what you want. Okay, and now this is where the script comes in. Okay, so pretty much what's just gonna happen here is we're gonna use a hit trigger. We're gonna use 3 different hit triggers. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if we want to trigger this to the bike and rider, I'm gonna use my FPS character. Okay. I'm gonna put my FPS character on top of the elevator. These are all going to be constant animations, so off. So what's going to happen here is when we touch the elevator, we're going to turn it on. Okay. Now we're not going to make it too complicated, okay? Obviously. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to set these state events like this. So on hit on hit. Oh my goodness. complicated. Okay, so on... So we go on the elevator, it's gonna turn on all of these. Okay. After 10 seconds, it's going to okay. It's gonna shut off the trigger as well. Okay, so we're gonna, okay, we already selected, we can't see it. Then we got a delay filter. We make sure we set the delay filter to 10 seconds. We're gonna be here for a little bit, okay? This is a complicated tutorial. But I want to have this so people have an idea how to make moving lifts properly. Because I didn't even know how to do this, and I just found this out because I think I'm a noob. And then so you just object instances to the end. Okay, so you're gonna hit the lift, it's gonna turn on the animation. Okay? And what you're gonna do too is you're going to turn off the player speed. Don't want to turn off the physics because then it just screws up the whole damn thing. So what you're going to do is to turn off the player's speed. So this is my speed value is 10,000. I'm going to put that to 0 so the player cannot move. Because if the player can move, it's going to make it way overly complicated. I don't want to make it that complicated. Okay. Okay. We're gonna move these up because this is gonna be a gigantic script. Okay, so what's gonna happen here is object instances to the ball. All of them are to the ball. They're double advanced triggers. Okay, on hit to the elevator. Okay. We're probably going to say on hit to the elevator in a delayed frame, because as soon as we hit the elevator it's not good. So we're probably gonna have it set to maybe 400 milliseconds in the elevator. Okay. Okay, so after 400 milliseconds in the elevator, and this basic concept applies with switches. If you want to switch on the elevator, switch on off, switch on off, switch on off. It's the same thing. But we're gonna do it a lot easier this time. We're just gonna do it on areas. So we're gonna have that. It's after 10 seconds. It comes to a full stop. Okay. After it comes to a full stop, we're going to activate the player again. Adjust the value to 10,000. check that. Check that. Then we're going to trigger we're gonna say that's the ceiling, okay. We're gonna trigger this event on after I'm gonna trigger this event on after a delayed interval. Okay, after a delayed interval, we're gonna turn this on. Okay. And then this should turn this on. So this is gonna turn that on up there. And this is gonna be the ground. Gonna be off as well. Okay. That's gonna turn that on. Okay. As soon as we get on this, it's going to turn off this trigger again. Okay. And it's gonna turn off this trigger. Okay. As soon as we get on the elevator, it's gonna turn on both sides. On this side, it's gonna turn on this trigger again. Does that make more sense, maybe, I hope? It's also gonna turn on the bottom one as well. And I'll tell you why. We're gonna turn on the bottom one. Why are we gonna turn on the bottom? Because it makes sense. Okay. And now, after we make a complete stop, a complete stop, after 10 seconds, we're going to have another state event. Turn off these animations. Okay, and we're gonna do that after 10 seconds. And then one turns it on. Now, if we wanted to apply a sound source event, works the same way, sorry. We're gonna say off. We're gonna say 10 seconds. 10 seconds, eh? And then, we're probably just gonna use an impulse split here. Because we're gonna share two direction at once, here and here. Okay, probably center that so you see the direction pull. And then sound stop event. And then we're gonna select random sources. I usually make these really good. So we're gonna say gears and motors, put that to 50%. Alright, we're gonna make that the static on sound. Make sure it's static, unless you want to OPE it to the elevator, okay, to make it non-static. But I think it's gonna shut off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then your end sound should be 50% static. Static plays everywhere, non-static does not. Slam. And after 10 seconds, I think it works. I think it's super easy. Now remember, it works the same way with buttons. Okay? You could tie the buttons to states. Let's say if you wanted to do button combinations, like Y. Does this work on triggers? No, but it works on states. So what you could do is you could have the buttons, right? Like button, button, button. But you have to turn off the button as soon as you use the button, so the button that you can just turn on and screw up the animation, you understand? Make sure all the buttons are off. Okay? And make sure you're on hit to state events, 3 separate state events. The state events will turn these on, and make sure you have another state event to turn them off immediately after. So it's on, off, on, off, on, off. Okay? And then you can create that as well. I'm probably going to show you that anyways in the video. Just to make a switch and a different value as well. Make the video more complicated, shall we? Because it's not complicated enough. And then we set these two off. No. Select that one, please. Alright. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. This one. On, off. On, off. And we actually did it wrong because I'm stupid. Okay. Like this. No, I'm actually not stupid, so this is a very good idea. I don't know why we have 3 switches. Because you only need 2 switches. Like an elevator in real life. Okay, so on and then off. Okay, we're gonna put it to this side and we're gonna put it to this side. Okay, so pretty much what's gonna happen here is when that switch turns on, the switch will turn on. Okay, so it makes sense, but then the switch will turn off. You understand? After we hit it once, of course. And once we hit the switch on, okay, we'll hit the switch off. But we also wanted to set it to a split because it's going to work 2 ways. And we can't be at 2 places at once, obviously, right? So we can just do a split like that. And split down the middle to activate this. But if we hit a trigger, remember, if we hit the trigger, Now I'm thinking here because the trigger then is going to work and it's going to send 2 impulses at once. So if we hit the on press, we then have to turn off this trigger as well. Both times. Doesn't matter the down switch or the up switch. Okay? Alright, so the down and up switch is a problem as well. Now, this is a problem as well because this is not what we want to do, of course. We don't want this to happen. Okay, so we done all that script. That script is working correctly. So what we want to do is we want to turn on the area effector. Okay, and so what we're going to do here is we're going to have custom area effectors. Okay, we're going to make one on one side first and one on the other. Okay, if that makes more sense. We said to turn on that because it works both ways, but we're also going to do a switch as well, okay? A switch. Okay, so this is going to be our button for the floor, okay? Okay. And what's going to happen here is we're going to make a fancy switch on the wall. So I usually grab I go into Riders of the Rustlands and go to, there's a specific object I use. This, it looks like a switch. You angle it to your position axis, okay? And then you grab a prime I think, okay? And then you select the prime there. This is just an example, I'm not gonna get fancy, okay? Even though I'm trying to. And then what you want to do is set the object to black, turn emission all the way up if it works. Okay, it's right stick up, okay? This is gonna be the floor, okay? And so basically what's going to happen here is we're going to say, then we're going to have 2 of these. We're going to have both of these on. Okay, so what's going to happen here? I have a state event for the switch. So the state event is going to turn on the switch, and then once it's going to turn on the switch. Okay. When we're on it. Okay, so when we're on that, that's going to be on. And it's going to turn on this switch. Right? When we leave this platform, okay? And when we're on it, okay, when we're on it, we leave this platform, this is going to be off. This is going to be on. So it makes total sense, okay? Obviously, if we hit the switch up here, What we want to do is we want to change a color event to the switch. Which is this emitted object here. Then we're going to like this. And then after we hit the switch, we're also going to turn off these events because they're going to be obsolete. And then what's going to happen there is then we could share the impulse for that, but then it's going to turn off the thing anyway, so it's not going to work, but it's going to make the elevator turn on. No, it's not going to make the elevator turn on. What am I doing here? And I just screwed up everything. It's not going to turn the elevator on, because if it does, the elevator is going to leave without us. You understand? So then we have to just go like this. Don't turn that off. So what's going to happen here is as soon as we get on the switch and come out of the switch, as soon as we get on the switch, on hit, on leave, we're going to turn on the elevator switch again. But when we on hit, the elevator switch is going to be off. That's going to turn off the triggers here. Okay, and then we're going to do vice versa pretty soon here. And we're going to turn on this event. And we're gonna say boom, boom. Boom. Copy and paste it over here. Make sure we turn on this. What's this turn off? Okay. That's good. What's that turn off? No, we want to turn off this. We want to turn on this. Okay, let's grouping are good for grouping. Just so long to work on that. So it doesn't matter which way, because it's vice versa. So now you can call up the lift and call down the lift. If you get stuck, you can also use a portal, but it's, you know, it's better like this. I think we're good. We can play that. We won't be able to hear I won't be able to hear the sounds because I'm using a microphone on my computer, and I can't hear the audio. And if I play it through my speakers, it'll play through my commentary microphone. So not good. Why is it going up? You know why it's going up, right? That's why. Are these off? So these are all off. So it's gonna turn on that. As soon as we hit that trigger, because it needs to turn on that. Okay, it makes sense. Okay. Let's playtest this by turning off enabled buttons. I did this for nothing. Are we interacting with the player here? Okay, so as soon as we start, okay, one has to be on in order to trigger everything else. If that makes sense. So this needs to be on, or it's not going to trigger the looping sequence. Okay. So they're all on. Okay. They're all on, okay. Okay, and then the ends will happen. Elevator's moving. Okay, now that's bad. Okay, so the reason why we failed there is because it's invert second half, it cuts the time in half. So now we gotta say we find the main interval, we say 5 seconds. Okay. Okay, we leave the platform. Now when we go back, the elevator should work. There we go. But now we're bouncing up and down. That is not good. That's not how a lift should be. So now we need to do more tweaking now. What we could do is we could do a area effector. Or even better, since we can't jump in the elevator anyway. Do one of these. Okay, and you could set it to whatever value you want, right? So let's say, obviously we're going up, right? So we're gonna set it to the maximum value. Okay, and what we could do here is we could make another following OPE. But this time we want a different OPE, so I'm going to build this one. Okay. So to make it easier on you guys. So we're gonna have an OPE, we're going to share the interval OPE. Did I unselect that? No. With this. It's gonna be a adjustable following OPE. And then what's gonna happen here is we're gonna have this value. Then we're gonna have position X, Y, and Z, position Y, position Z. Then we're going to say position X, position Y, position Z, operand 1. Put it on a variable data source for the operand right here. Make sure your X, Y, and Z is targeted to the elevator floor. And make sure you're trying to animate this object up here. It's going to go down there because it's at 0. So the default value is probably 30 or something. 33. Okay, so it's around the same height. 33. So now we're going to use a set value event. We're gonna have one for on and one for off, you understand? So obviously our off is 33. And our on value could be 7. And the way to check this is, again, play animation. No, it needs to be lower. I'm gonna play it safe and I'm gonna say 330. Well, what I just did here, I know I confused you guys, but I just linked the chain onward. Because there's an interval there. And then what you gotta do here is as soon as the elevator starts, okay, use the split. And then that should animate and make it better. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit the switch. The switch is on. Elevator's on. Okay. Hit the switch. And we hit the switch. Well, you know why, that's why. Common mistake. Ignore what I'm doing here, this is just an alternate way. Turn this off. Decoration off. Shouldn't work. Okay, so now we're gonna use it, and then obviously when you come to a stop, right? As soon as you get on the elevator, we have to reset them back to normal values. Split. I can't see. It should be on. On. Now we could turn this. Where's the... Does this even work? Oh, why is this not working now? Okay, now it works. It's like squeezing the thing into the ground. Okay, so it's a continuous elevator, you see that? I'm having troubles with the switches now. This one's not working. This one works. So what we're gonna do now is these are not gonna work, and this is gonna work. We're gonna make sure why the switches are not working. On, leave, on. On, leave, off. So, okay, so this should be on. What am I saying? It's on only when I turn on the thing. Okay, oh my goodness, it's an hour. Okay, let's say we want to go on the elevator. It's not going to work. I don't want the elevator to work. The elevator should not work. So the elevator is not going to work. Oh my... Am I touching this? I have to be touching it. There's no way. That's probably why it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? The top switch. Now we corrected it. So make sure your tool cards are tooling properly. Now it doesn't work. You have to hit the switch. This shouldn't work as well. No, okay. Hit the switch, activate the elevator. Son of a bitch. Should be on. Why doesn't it turn on? Something's turning this off. What this one? You're turning this off. You're turning this off. Something's turning it off. We're gonna say screw that. Okay, so everything works fine. Even if we go here, it's fine. Switch on. Does it go up? There we go. Okay. Go back down. Does it work? Nope. We go here. Does it work? No. Switch on. Oh my goodness, it doesn't work. Maybe it works. Okay, so the lighting is not working properly as it should. Okay, so an overview. Taking this as my screenshot. Okay, so that's how you make an elevator, guys. An hour-long tutorial on how to do it the other way and then the switch way. So I thought I was going to need generic filters for this, but no, you don't need any generic filters for this. Because you just need proper hit triggers. I recommend using force as well, and then you see it's a double function. I'm hoping the sound plays. I'm hoping the sound is playing really loud and you can't hear the audio. You see? Double function trigger. Okay. And that's the easiest way to do it. If you want to move the player in the elevator, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to take a lot more tool cards, because then you got to play around with the triggers. Oh, what happens if he tries to cheat and go this way? Will the elevator go back down halfway? And then you got to program the elevator for him to go halfway down and halfway up and a quarter way down and a quarter way up. The easiest way just to do it like that. You know what I mean? In real life, if you call the elevator, it's going to stop on the floor, then it's going to come back down. It's not going to be like, oh, I want to go down. No. Right? Obviously, there is a way to do it. It's just very, very complicated to do it. It takes forever. This is the easiest way to do it. Is people just have to be patient and wait a few seconds. Okay? If you increase the duration of the elevator, it's going to go through the floor. You have to do a physics joint, or the best way to do it is OPE the character to the lift and OPE out, but that's also going to cause problems. So, like, the best way to do it is do a camera transition, where you could have the player go to the top, teleport the player with a portal, make sure his speed is off, and when he gets to the top, teleport him back, and there you go. It's done. And you can also do the teleportation instantly as soon as the lift hits the top. So you're going to have that as well if you want. There's so many options. I gave you the easiest method. I'm going to do an overview. A bunch of hit triggers. Following OPE for obviously when the player goes up and down. Calculated on command. A few things here and a few things here. And that's precise, dude. No generic filters. And look at this. I made a tutorial on this, by the way. You can watch the 10-hour, 25-hour tutorial. I don't know what it is. I'm actually being serious. It took a 4 days to do it, like a few hours a day. And then that's just a fine-tuned animation. Okay, so I'm Sin the Legend. I'll see you guys on maybe not another tutorial. Yeah, hopefully that helped. Hopefully I didn't melt your brain. Hopefully it was really good because it's very precise. It's not like I just a bunch of them. Really, here you go, magic tricks. No. So I'm Sin the Legend, and that's it. Alright, bye. Later.